Howdy, y'all, and welcome to the EEARSS Podcast, produced by Terrier TV. My name is Frank Robb. I'm your friend. That is Bill Curtis. That is Cindy. Everybody's here, and we're super duper happy.
I'm your friend.
Yes, I am your friend.
I am your friend.
You can trust me.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Right.
Say the strangest,
Didn't sound
most
disingenuous at all.
say
No.
the strangest, most monotone possible voice I could come up with.
Yep.
Yeah, it is what it is. How y'all been? How's things going?
Good. I'm tired, man. I'm tired.
All right.
What he said. Yeah.
I covered a PE class today, and so I went
Oh, no.
walking around the track with
Oh,
him.
no.
I
And,
remember the track
yeah.
walking days.
Yeah, it's like, no, that's okay.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I remember the track walking days. I was never a fan of the track walking days.
Yeah.
New track or not.
We got a new track
Yeah.
now. It's rubber, so you bounce a little
That's
bit. when
Let's
you
go
walk.
walk the
Fancy.
track, guys. It's new.
There we
We'll
go.
wear it in.
Yeah.
Nobody was except like the 6 people in track.
This is
Yeah.
true. This
Yeah,
is true.
They all like it.
So we should introduce our guest real quick so he can
Probably
be
should, yeah.
involved with the back and forth and
Sure.
Cindy making fun of me and Bill just sitting there and
Why
laughing.
wouldn't we do
And
that?
laughing quietly while Cindy makes fun of me. So today on the podcast, we are joined by Rick Wolter. Rick, thank you so much for being here. You are with Underdog Devs. You see the giant logo on the screen? It's a giant dog next to a U that's in the middle of a D.
It is.
Some
It
serious
is.
stuff.
You
It's
see
a really
it.
actually a really
You
cool.
see
It's,
it.
it's
So
a
this
really
is for
cool
the
logo.
blind people
Yeah.
in our audience who can't see.
Um.
Which, speaking of which, okay, I'm sorry, I got to bring this up.
Uh-oh.
I was watching a movie.
That's kind of interesting.
There's a new movie on, I guess it was on Max, and it's about, I guess, the commandant of a concentration camp and his family and all that. But it's all like in German. And I'm like, I don't want to listen to it in German. I don't want to read my movie. I'm sorry, I don't.
Right.
It takes.
So-
It does take away for it. You're looking down the entire time instead of looking
Right.
at watching the picture.
So you can go to, it was dubbed as in English, but descriptive audio. I don't know if you've ever watched a movie with descriptive audio turned on. Have you ever done that?
what is that? I don't
No.
even know what that means.
Well, what it means, it's for people who are sight impaired. And so you can see the movie. They describe the movie to you. They tell you what the scene is. And, you know, that there's a man and he's, you know, such and such, and he's walking across and it describes the whole thing, but it also reads the subtitles for you. So I liked that part of it. But the lady in the descriptive, if you've never watched a movie with descriptive audio, you need to try it. It's weird.
Because it's the same voice for every character, right?
No. They had the subtitles. They had different people doing it. They did. So that part was dubbed.
Really?
But the lady who is like the narrator who describes everything, it's the one lady. And I don't know. I only listened to about 10 minutes of it because I think it would put me to sleep. I would
Very soothing voice.
Oh yes, a very soothing voice. I would wake up and wonder, boy, was this a good movie or what? I don't know.
Have you seen this? It's in the second season right now. It's a series on Netflix called The Physical 100. Has anybody seen this?
No.
No.
It's so it's filmed in South Korea, and it's all these Korean people mixed with people from. There's a couple people from South Africa, a couple people from the United States, but mostly they're South Koreans, so they don't speak English, and
Okay.
it's all subtitles, and each subtitle has a different voice, and there's 100 people, so they have until they get knocked out of the show, they have that voice that stays along with them reading their
Okay,
subtitles.
right, so you
And
recognize it.
it makes me think about that, but they're all doing these like super physical things and like yelling and not quite cussing, but they'll beep out the cussing. But it's hilarious hearing these people almost reading the subtitles, doing the things, but they're actually talking while the person's talking.
Right.
It makes me think of what you're discussing, and I don't know. It just if you haven't seen The Physical 100, it's definitely worth a watch. It's very entertaining.
What's it on?
On Netflix. It's
Well,
super duper entertaining.
Anything that's dubbed is straight. Well, you know, my daughters were all into anime. Oh my goodness, dubbed anime.
So
Wow.
That's like an Oriental cartoon.
Yeah, it's
I'm asking a question.
Japanese mostly, and
Cindy's laughing at me right
very
now.
Oh,
very
I'm not laughing.
very artsy, and yeah, my girls were into it. In fact, that's the reason that I discovered how you make different viewers in Netflix. because they were getting me so many anime suggestions.
Recommendations.
Yes. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. Why is this showing up? And it's because they were watching all this anime. So I had to create a thing for them so it would stop showing me anime.
I wonder what that word means.
Ooh, I actually do
It's
know
animated
that, but
something?
Well-
Animated.
well, yes, it is animated, but yeah, I do actually know, but I don't know.
But you don't remember,
Yeah.
at the time. But you knew. And it'll come to you at some
You
point.
know who we went to school with? Me and you went to school with a fellow named Travis Page.
Yeah.
And Travis runs an anime group, does he not? Isn't that
Well,
like
he's the CFA of. Well, he was part of the acquisition that Sony took for Funimation and Crunchyroll. They're over like one of the largest anime. Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
he
Crunchyroll.
led that merger, and so he's like the CFA now of Funimation, or whichever one is the larger company. I don't know if it's Funimation that owns Crunchyroll or Crunchyroll that owns Funimation. Whichever one that is, he owns, or I mean, he's the CFA of that.
interesting?
That's
I knew
really
it was
cool.
something. I knew it was something like that because I remember him explaining that to me, and it was so far over my head. I'm like, I had to I had to Google what it meant.
Dude, don't feel bad. Like, we're staying with him. We went out to LA and stayed with him for a while, and he's telling me about it, and you can tell he was proud of. It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
And I was
he
like,
should be. Yeah.
what is that? Like, what is anime or like Funimation? I didn't know what any of that was. But it had the same thing. He's like, oh, well, it's this and this and this. And then I find out that it's got some, there's a lot of.
They got big
lot of
titles on
fans.
there. Yeah, a
Lot
lot
of
big
fans.
following.
And
Big
all of
following.
all ages. This ain't a kid thing.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Oh, no.
All right.
No.
I digress because I have no idea.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do that quite a bit though. You guys want to jump into today's conversation?
Sure. I thought we were having a conversation.
Well, I mean, do you want to jump
What
deeper
do you
into the
think we're doing here,
conversation with
Frank?
Rick?
Yeah. What do you think this is?
Well, yeah, I can tell you guys a little bit of a crazy story real quick. Before we
Okay.
jump into this. So I did a educational program at a place on last Friday? I think it was last Friday. And it was it was an older community. There's probably 100 people there when I'm doing this. Not a huge group, but a pretty good sized group. Going through my PowerPoint presentation, talking about snakes, lizards, all kinds of mammals, all the things we come across in research. And that's like a 45-minute talk. At the end of it, I brought some animals. So I was in a show. I had some snakes. I had an alligator. I had some like a terrapin and a tortoise and some things to show them. And it was a strange group because they were kind of acting very like little kids at some point. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They were kind of like interrupting each other, and people were telling each other to shut up. And I'm going, this
Oh,
is
gosh.
this is kind of strange. Like, the man's talking. Shut up so he can talk. And I'm going, this is getting interesting.
They must have been married.
No, it was like different sides of the room. It was yeah, that's funny though. But we get to like the part where I'm breaking out a couple of snakes to show them. I led it with, hey, look, which is always very important for any group I'm giving an educational program to. I'm not here to scare anybody. I'm not here to freak anybody out. I'm going to have a conversation with you guys about each of these animals I pull out. And if you don't want me to come anywhere near you, just hold your hand up and I will not go anywhere near you because I'm not here to scare you. This is truly about education and learning about these animals that could very easily be seen in your front yard. So you know what it is when you see it. And I break the first snake out and a bunch of them stand up. I say a bunch, like 25 of them. So like a quarter of them stand up and they all start laughing like a bunch of little kids, and they go to run out the front door and they're pushing each other and go out the front door, and this dude fell over and broke himself as he ran out the door.
Jeez.
What?
Wow.
So next thing you know, the ambulance is there and the fire truck's there, and I'm like, what
Oh,
in the
no.
world, man? It's like, why were you all goofing around?
So who was this group now?
I don't really want to
He
say.
doesn't
I
want
really
to
don't
say.
want to say.
So
where.
was it an older group?
Yeah, it was a retirement community.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been trying to
Oh.
wrap my head around that
Maybe
one for a few
rethink the
days.
strategy next time.
Well, it's never been an issue.
Yeah.
I know I can go into a room full of 5-year-olds and not have that issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some of them might be scared, but they'll sit down, they'll keep their hands down, and they'll just be calm. And if they don't want you to come down, they'll just look at you and kind of shake their head. And you're like, okay, I won't go anywhere near you. Like,
Yeah.
I understand. I get what you're saying. It's not comfortable to you. So, yeah, anyhow. I've been trying to.
That was Frank digressing.
Right.
It was, and I apologize ahead of time. So, Rick, it's your second time being on the program. We're super happy to have you back.
Happy to be here.
So, since the last time you were on, I know a lot of things have transpired with Underdog Devs. You guys have a lot of interesting things kind of in the works and happening. I don't know the extreme details on all those, but why don't you tell us about what's? I know there's a lot. You guys have a lot of moving pieces and things going on right now.
Yeah,
they're developing. So developing for Underdog Devs.
Oh, there you go.
I like it.
I like it.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Do you want me to give a quick summary for the new listeners?
Yes. Yeah. For those that haven't, that didn't listen to that first episode, you should definitely go back and listen to it. I want to say it was in season 2. If I had to make a guess, I'd say it was in season 2.
Sounds about right.
No, it was.
Yes, but
I have no idea.
Break down what Underdog Devs is, and let's get a little bit more into it.
Yeah. So Underdog Devs it's an organization, a collective kind of software engineers that are. This isn't our job. None of us get paid by Underdog Devs. We all are in the industry. We're software engineers in the industry, and we have this organization. It's a 501c3 that helps formerly incarcerated and those that are like traditionally underrepresented within tech get software engineering jobs. We help teach them. We help get them into the field. And even in one program within our organization, we have something called Project Underdog, where we pay their bills for 4 months, with the potential to be 8 months if you go into the next cohort. And they get a mentor Monday through Friday, and so their bills are paid. And we basically make sure they have the free time to be able to put into coding, to software engineering, and we teach them. And then we try to help them get hired as software engineers.
It's truly amazing.
Yeah, most of them come from like lower socioeconomic backgrounds. Most of them don't have a formal education. So to think that these people are landing these jobs, which pay, the salaries are nice. And so it's life-changing for a lot of these people. A lot of these people never imagined they'd be able to make that kind of money. And so there's just some, amazing stories. Yeah. But Project Underdog itself, the main reason was that coding, software engineering pays high, but it's not the easiest to get into. The barrier to entry is kind of high in some ways, meaning you have to have time. Like anyone can afford a cheap laptop, but you don't have a lot of time. How are you going to do it? So it usually benefits those that are already in a comfy position, meaning those in higher socioeconomic situations are able to take hold of this skill that's high paying easier, can access it easier than those from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. So that's where the pain came into. Like, why do you pay? And I've had people reach out literally and be like, what I got to do? You get a felony to learn? And I'm like, bro, if you're having a hard time getting a job without a felony, I don't recommend getting one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It doesn't make it easier.
It's not like a plus.
Yeah, it doesn't make it easier. But
good Lord.
So yeah, so that's the basis of it. We have software. Our mentors are from all over. We've got some people that are like within the tech industry are super well known, and then those from smaller companies and all over. And the other thing that kind of ends up happening is as they get their skills better and better, they basically are building relationships, which is the main way to get a job. Because a lot of times these development teams, like say where I work now, I work for a company called Echelon. It's in Orlando. It's a Peloton-like company. And I got a job because I knew people there. They reached out. And when a job opening opens up, they prefer people they know. So this basically is like a little sneaky way of like getting them, because a lot of them don't know. Like when I was released from prison, I didn't know a single software engineer. Yeah. I eventually did, but I didn't at that time. And so what we're doing is like handing them software engineers to get to know, and they have skin in the game. They're helping them. So they have a vested interest in they're part of these people's redemptive arcs and these success stories. So
you were saying that took you a long time to make those connections you made. You dug hard to get those.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you're trying to give them an extra kickstart to get the whole thing.
Right. Yeah. When I got out, I didn't know anybody. So it took a long time. I went to meetups and I messaged people, and I was like, I was very active, I don't have a hard time talking to people. So for me, it wasn't hard, but a lot of people are introverted, especially those that are pulled into, or that gravitate to that industry. Most of them are introverted. So you get this extra, difficulty. They're from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. They have a felony. A lot of them are, I don't know if it's a higher percentage, but it seems like a higher percentage are introverts. And so then it's a perfect storm for making it difficult to get into the industry. We basically try to alleviate that and flatten the playing field so that they can get in.
That's awesome.
It's a hard industry because every job that's posted, they get thousands of applicants, and everybody looks good on paper. So when you're somebody who has the barrier of having a history where you've made bad choices in the past,
right,
or even choices that were outside of your control, being able to walk into an interview with somebody that knows you and has put in the time to train you, that can vouch for you, that has already proven themselves to that company, that makes a huge difference.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
It's awesome. So what has transpired between last time you were here and now? I know there's a lot of advances and a lot of things going on. So let's jump into that a little bit.
Yeah. So let's see. Like, the prison system is basically the same, right? Like,
right.
You got within a 9-year period, I think it's like 83% return to prison. Like, that's a lot. And I even brought some stats just because I forgot. I usually have these on the top of the dome, but today I don't. $35,000 to $50,000 to house them. And just think about the amount of people we have in prison. So you end up with, we're paying for that. That hasn't changed. The recidivism rate is still ridiculous. People still need jobs. The rough part of this is that the tech market has been brutal lately. The last couple of years has been brutal. We've had tons of success stories still, but there's a lot of people who should get jobs and they just can't because the layoffs from Facebook and Google and wherever. When you have those places on your resume, it's like a golden ticket. So like if you're going up against somebody who just got laid off of Google, you could be a better engineer. You really could. But this person's from Stanford and from Google. And so their signal is stronger. So that's all they go with is signal. And so they're going with them. And so we have had a difficulty recently because, the market, there's theories, it could be the COVID tech companies overhired during the COVID period. There's lots of theories out there. I'm not sure what it is.
What do you think AI, if anything's playing into all that?
Well, that's the other thing is like, so you hear a lot about AI, ChatGPT, all these things that are like going to take the place of everybody, right? like half the time, and I think that there's some truth to that. It's not yet hit that peak. A lot of people I know do use it. I don't know a single employer that uses it though, meaning to replace anyone.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's like if you hire, like I work on a construction site and you hire me to run like a bulldozer or something or whatever, name some sort of technological advancement that allowed for one person to do a lot of people's work. You still need someone to run that. You can't just have anyone do it. You still need someone that can plan it and architect it and understand what's going on. I use ChatGPT all the time for work. And when I use it, 2/3 of the time, it's useless. It's useless. Like it gives me a lot of useless garbage. No, let me rephrase that. It's not useless. I have to change code in what they give me. It's very rarely am I just like, woo, that's the answer. Thank you. Very rarely.
Right.
So it's not to the point where, at least in my opinion, software engineers have to worry. It's definitely it's going to cut out, I think, some of the entry-level positions, though. So then you're going to have people that have 4 or 5, 6 years in the industry. They're going to be using ChatGPT to maybe do 2 or 3 people's jobs. That's my speculation.
Interesting. So how have your all's needs changed, and what are some specific things you guys do need for Underdog Devs?
Well, it's funny you say that. We just had a meeting today and went over this exact thing. What do we need right now? Where are we at? Where are our pain points? One of the things we're about to do is ramp up on marketing again. Because we're doing a few things. We're also offering some contracting and software development. I've taken a few contracts from companies, and what I'm doing is using mentees. That way we can build their resume. That way they're not competing against these people without a resume.
That's smart.
And we take the money, reinvest it in Underdog Devs. Now we don't have to ask anybody. We have more engineers than some of the best companies you know of.
You're building the team and you're
right,
building the program.
Right.
It's
like we're
awesome.
sitting on a ton of talent. At the very least, I could even use it as like a recruiting agency. Like, hey, we have people that you could use. But we're going to start doing that. And so to do that, we're going to need a little more marketing to get contracts to find people who need software built, software engineer, like web applications, mobile apps, whatever you need. We have someone that can do that. So we're going to do marketing. Marketing's a big need. And also on top of that are more mentors, because we've had like such an influx of mentees that we don't have the same 1-to-1 ratio that we once had. So that's a big need. Is we need mentors right now. We need people that are going to software engineers in the industry who want to help out and be a part of like what we're doing.
How many people have been through this program?
Ooh,
And how many people do you have in right now? Do you
That's
have,
a good
do you have
question.
any
We
idea?
have over 800 people part of the organization.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Not everybody contributes the same way. You know, we have some people that just answer questions in Slack, and we have some that like just handle intake of our people coming in. Just, you know, it runs like a kind of a normal company, except that it's all of our side job. That's just, you know, like not even a side job. It's our passion. Like we just do it in our spare time. Nobody's getting paid for it.
Any idea how many people have been through the program that you guys have helped?
That's a good question. We have,
Or how many are in it right now?
It's over 100 for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to tell. Project Underdog itself is smaller because we're paying their bills.
Yeah.
So our resources are limited at where we can pay, and so how much we can pay. And so usually you have about 10 per cohort. We're on cohort 7, I think. So it'd be roughly 70, but then you have people who have gone through 2 cohorts who didn't get hired in the last one. So some of those are repeats.
Gotcha.
So it's a much smaller number.
It's still incredible.
Yeah.
So
the stories themselves are really like, you know, like I said last time, we've got stories where, I mean, not that money is everything, but we have people who like came here and didn't have anything and needed a laptop, and right now make $45,000 a month. Like I've seen this. Like this isn't like what I heard. I looked at the dashboard. Now that's not from his employer. That's from applications on the App Store.
Wow.
Yeah, like they're the people that are doing amazing things. It's funny, this person actually visited and met a lot of our friends. He hung out because he feels very indebted to Underdog Devs, and so he came and just wanted to hang out.
I guess so.
Yeah. And he's just an awesome dude, you know, like really, really good guy. Made a mistake when he was younger, and is just doing really, really cool things.
So those people that have moved on from your program, do you hope to see them at some point then mentoring the next group that are coming through? And have you seen any of that yet?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like there's some of our best people. The meeting I had today was with 4 people. It was me and 3 other people, and they do so much for Underdog Devs, like so much. And all 3 of them came in as mentees.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's what you hope, that eventually it's kind of running itself, right? It's kind of the people that are coming out of the program are taking care of the next group coming through.
Mm-hmm. Which is why it got better. You know, you end up getting, like at first when it started, right, it was me. It was literally just me. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, we're going to have a meeting and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And it was horrible, right? It was horrible. And you get someone that can do that better, and someone that can hold the meetings better, and someone that can organize better. That's not hard to do either with me. And so like you end up with a lot of people that are running it and kind of optimized it, you know?
That's almost too much for words, buddy. That's amazing. Yeah.
It's done good. It's done. They're doing some big things over there.
So you're needing more mentors. Other than mentors, what else do you need, and where can people go to help?
Underdog Devs, you can go if someone wants to become a software engineer, and the app industry is worth like I don't know how many billion, lots and lots and lots and lots of billions of dollars go into the App Store. So like if you want to make side money or whatever, and you want to be a mentee and learn that stuff, just sign up. We have a link at our website, underdogdevs.com or .org. If you want to be a mentor, if you know how to code or software, if you know how to build software, or if you want to help in other ways, because there's other things, there's like marketing and social media and other things. If you do want to help and be a part of that, you reach out, go and just sign up through the mentor, or reach out to you or on our website. We have the mentor sign up, which is traditionally how we do it. But if it's people that know us, they might as well reach out to you, and that way we just have a chat. It doesn't have to be formal. We'll
link it all into all the show notes too. Is there anything that I'm not asking that I should be asking that you want to talk about in regards to the company or anything else?
So are you asking me to ask the question?
Yes, that's exactly what we do here,
I am
Rick.
asking you an open-ended question.
It's called outsourcing. So he's outsourcing.
I like it.
We are optimizing.
I like it. Yeah, you should ask if you need an app built. Be asking me if I can build you an app.
Trying to think of what that app would be.
Yeah. Yep.
No.
We need something for planning.
Yeah.
Better than Gmail.
This is true. We could use a scheduling app for the podcast where people could just send in their I would like to be on your podcast. It's funny. I have had a lot of people recently that send me messages about wanting to be on our podcast. Not us asking them, they're messaging.
That's
which
amazing,
which
and
is
I love
pretty
it.
neat. Yeah, like, you know what? I'd like to be on your podcast.
Thank
Wow.
you so much.
Okay.
That makes this easy.
And we have a couple different marketing people that will reach out to us and to me and be like, hey, I've got some people that I represent that I'd like to have on your podcast. What can I do? Like, talk about humbling. That's pretty humbling.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, definitely.
But it'd be cool if we could find a way to somehow manage that. It'd be cool if they made this some kind of sheet where you could put things down and they would organize it for you.
There you go.
Maybe it's spread out.
Yeah, spread out a little bit.
In columns, and you could put numbers and things in them, and it would tell you things after you do that.
Never heard of such software.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't think so. It would have to be very good. It would almost have to excel.
Yes, yeah.
That's good. That's
Wow,
good.
that was slick.
It was.
I like what he did there.
Wow.
Dear Lord. So I gave you some homework.
Mm-hmm.
Did you bring your homework?
Oh, yeah. The trivia questions.
He's
got nervous.
He's like, wait a minute.
Did you?
I didn't know I had an assignment.
I got nervous.
So
for a second.
is there a method to your madness, or is it just a bunch of random stuff, or is it
There's a method.
okay? What's your topic?
It's tech, prison,
Oh, no. Oh,
Okay.
okay. I might know something.
Tech. Okay.
tech and prison.
Tech
I'm
and
not going to
prison.
ask you about how your prison stay is or anything. I'm not going to ask
Okay.
you if you like your food.
Is
So
it
these trivia questions will be
Oh, my
applicable
God.
to Underdog Devs and
Okay.
formerly incarcerated. And
I like it. Okay.
whatnot. Oh, I just thought of, by the way, you asked if the mentees ever help out. We just had an interesting one where a guy got out after 29 years, and he's part of Underdog Devs now. Awesome guy. He's the reason that I was even able to code.
Okay.
Isn't that funny how that comes back around? Like,
You talked about him the
Wow.
first time you were on.
yeah,
That-
we picked him up. We
Right,
went
yeah,
to
yeah.
Miami. We picked him up. We took him out, and it was fun. It was really cool, and we helped him get started. And this guy is the reason. Well, he's not the reason, but he allowed me. He was running this program, and so when I was like, "Hey, can I put this on the computers?" I'm like, he's like, "Dude, where did you get that?" And so we were
Don't
just,
ask.
yeah, don't worry about it. And he kind of knew what it was. I told him it was a programming language, and then it was also videos that taught programming. And so he let me do it, right? And this was years ago, and like probably a decade ago, no, maybe 12, 13 years ago.
Okay.
And he's getting out, and we're friends, and I kept up with him, and then we picked him up, and I should
that's
give you a
awesome.
picture. He has so you bring clothes for them to come out of when they come out. And I sent an Underdog Devs shirt and some pants. So he comes out in an Underdog Devs shirt. It's great, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty special.
was pretty
Oh, cool.
That's pretty special.
Okay, trivia questions.
All right, hit me with it.
All right. Some of these I recognize you may not know, but I think that it's good. It's informative for the topic.
Bill and Cindy always know everything, so.
This is first one's an easy one. What is the popular term for a small piece of code used to track website visitors and their behavior?
Cookie?
There you go. Very good.
Nice. Good job. Good job. Okay. What is the name of the open source operating system based on Linux that's designed for smartphones and tablets?
I don't want to be wrong.
This is going to kill you when I say the answer because you're going to be like, oh, yeah.
Isn't Android based on Linux?
Yep.
I thought
That's
so.
it.
Okay, well, there you go. Very good.
All right. What is the average annual cost per prisoner in the United States?
You
just
told us.
that.
I think between $35,000 and $50,000.
You were listening.
Boy, that was good.
Every now and then I do get it.
It's stuck.
He didn't even have to
Right?
refer to his notes.
According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, what percentage of inmates return within 9 years?
You also told us that. Wasn't it 86?
83.
80 something percent.
83. That was good. That was good.
Numbers stick in my head. I don't know
There
why
you
it
go.
is. We were just
Right?
talking about this a minute ago, but yeah, numbers stick for some reason.
I didn't think you were listening either, Frank.
Yikes.
I'm just kidding. I know you listen. Where did I get these questions from?
Chat GPT.
Dang, you're good, dude.
When you hinted at that a minute ago too, so I was
there
like,
you go.
I know. While you were saying it, I'm like, I know exactly where he got his questions from.
That is good. That is good. All right, here's a bonus question since you don't want to answer them all, and you're good. I got to ask one that you don't know.
This is the first time I've ever knocked trivia out of the park, by the way.
That was good. That was really good, dude. All right. Oh, no, I didn't even tell you that one. How many lines of code does the average app contain? This is in iOS. Android's slightly different, but we'll go iOS.
I would guess thousands.
2,000.
I would guess
20,000 to 30,000. Oh, I'm sorry,
Wow.
Cindy. I
See,
should-
there we
it's
go.
okay. I wasn't gonna
Okay.
get it right.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
What were you
I
gonna
was gonna
say?
say millions.
Oh, were you? See, I was thinking.
But then
like
I stopped myself because I was like, that would take a really long time. That can't be it.
I remember making a Delta Gold back in the day, make a mosquito noise when I was like 10 years old, and that seemed to have taken like 20 pages of things. So I'm like, it had to be something long.
I
would
remember
think.
adding music and color to my MySpace, so I feel like I am highly qualified.
That was
There you go.
coding.
Yeah.
That was coding. That was early stages of coding.
Back in the 80s, I learned how to do BASIC.
Wow.
And I could, my first computer was a Tandy 4K
Oh, I've heard this from a lot of programmers.
with a little keyboard, and you had to save everything on a cassette deck.
Right.
And you saved it on a cassette deck, and then you play the tape and load it back in, and you hooked it up to a TV, a color TV.
That's so
Yeah.
funny. I hear
Oh.
this all the time from all all the older programmers. They're like, you don't know nothing back in the days.
Yeah.
Tandy and BASIC. I
Oh,
hear this
yeah.
all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And that was the thing, I guess, back then. It
Oh,
was like
yeah.
everybody was doing it.
yeah. Because it came with nothing. I mean, they
Right.
just gave you here you go. Here's a computer.
It was for the tinkerers, you know.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
the
it really
nerdy
was.
Tinkerers.
It really was.
So I did just see the number. I'd forgot the number. Didn't say the number of how much revenue is created through the App Store. Guess how much it is?
6 billion a year.
581 billion.
What?
Wow.
581 billion. So just think.
There
If
you go.
What?
Come
that's-
up with an app.
Is anyone
Come on,
else
Cindy.
wondering if they're in the wrong field?
Yeah.
Oh, if I'm wanting to make money, I know I'm in the wrong field. for
Yeah,
sure.
as soon as we'll come on in,
Yeah.
we'll get you trained, and that month ChatGPT takes all our jobs.
Yeah. There you go.
Speaking about field, I think I'm going to be able to kidnap you into the field next week sometime, right?
I think so.
Okay.
It depends on what day.
Speaking about field, Frank called me the other day.
No,
Okay.
When
you
he originally
called
called me, I was doing dishes. And
Oh,
I thought,
okay, yeah,
I can't answer right now. I'll call him back. This man, I call him back and he goes, in the middle of trapping a gator, I'll have to call you back. Why are you answering the phone? I thought answering while doing dishes
Just-
was too dangerous.
I answer the
You're
phone while catching
on a
alligators all the
gator's
time.
back.
That
No,
is so funny.
What?
I literally have done national TV interviews that looked like nothing was going on while I was sitting on an alligator's back.
Please
kid
never
you not.
die just to answer my phone. Please don't.
Let it go to voicemail.
I won't recover from
I thought I had some cool stories about, because I can multitask too.
Yeah.
I'd be playing my brother in a video game while I'm doing an interview.
Yeah.
You know, like on the phone. I'm like trying to, because I had left my last place. And I thought that was a cool story until I heard this one.
I mean, I snake
Sitting on
and, I
the
snake
back
and
of an
drive
alligator.
sometimes.
Okay.
Right? I never coded anything on the back of an alligator.
I
No.
do snake and drive sometimes too.
snake and drive.
What is snake and drive?
Like hold a snake in
Exactly
your hands
what
while
it
you're
sounds
driving.
like.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is exactly.
It's not rocket
I wasn't
science.
taking it literal. I was
But
thinking it
with
meant
him,
something.
Yeah,
They-
with
they-
him,
I,
you should.
Some kind of procedure.
It was a couple weeks ago. I had caught a gator out somewhere, and I had to drive it somewhere to let it loose as a little guy. And I went through a guard shack somewhere and had the alligator up, like kind of sitting in my lap. It was like on my shoulder, and it was quite interesting. I had him wrapped up in the seatbelt with me, but he was sitting on my shoulder.
Do
kinda-
they even try to stop you, or are they just
They-
like, this man's
they just-
insane?
they
I'm
just
gonna
all-
let him go. Like
they-
I can't.
they
This is
chuckled
too
and-
much.
I had him in a seatbelt and I had my legs over his tail, and we just kind of. So I was kind of. I think I was using my left foot with the gas, but
Oh, okay. Well,
things
there
I
you go.
probably shouldn't talk about out loud. But
Right.
yeah.
None of this stuff.
Yes. Frank's talked to us in a few months. I don't know why. I can't get auto insurance.
Yeah, weird.
It wasn't actually on a road,
Right.
but I was wearing a seatbelt.
Well, there's the fire alarm,
There we go.
kids.
All right, I guess we should probably call this an episode then. At that note. Rick, thank you so much for being on here with us.
Yeah, thanks for
This
having
is
me,
the
y'all.
most funny thing that's ever happened in this room during this.
I love it.
All right,
Yep.
love you, buddy. Thank you for being here, and
Time to go.
thank you all for tuning into the EEARSS Podcast here at Terrier TV and Fire Alarm Central. We will catch you all next week. Bye-bye.
I was going to ask, do we leave when there's a fire? Or do we just talk?